climate change mashandukire ari kuita zvinhu mamirire ekunze nekuda kwenguva zvichireva izvo kuti weather conditions aiveko 50 years ago asiyana neari kunguva izvezvi panguva yatiri kurarama. Effects of climate change awedzerawo kune vanhu vari kumusha vakaremara. Ndopatinoona kuti tine ma-effects akaita sana cyclones. Ma-cyclones kana akauya anokonzerwa necyclone dai vanhu vane ma-wheelchair havagoni kumhanya. Izvozvo zvinova iri effect inotova-affecta nekuti havakwanisi kuona kutiza vachiendawo kune vamwe. Tinoona tingataura nyaya yevana vanhu vane albinism. Tiri kuona kuti ma-challenges, ma-temperatures ari kukura. And these increases in temperatures, it's actually an effect to the albinism community because they cannot stand the sun. So when they go out, especially in this rural setup, everything that you need to do, you have to go outside because it's outdoor work. So you can't work for long periods on the sun, of which climate change is increasing these effects. So that means these people are increasingly becoming exposed to cancer. So that's another effect of climate change on the people with disabilities. Zvinoona kuti ma-temperatures ariko izvezvi neaiveko kare zvakasiyana. Tikatora for example, the hottest year in history is 2021. Saka tinoona kuti climate change ma-temperatures ari kuwedzera nekuda kwekuuya kwenguva. People with disabilities are really at risk of climate change. But these people, we also need to teach them how to adapt. So the major ways that we can use to adapt for climate change to these people with disabilities is whereby we see that in these communities we form networks whereby we now know our community members and say someone stays here so that in times of need we always go and be the first target to take them and put them out of risk of the dangers of climate change. Teach the rural communities about the challenges that are faced by people with albinism and how they are supposed to be, how they are supposed to avoid the sun. This will come in teaching nurses or even teachers, because these are the people who spend the whole day with the children, especially at a young age. They must be taught to learn how to take care of themselves and also use sunscreen lotions to protect them from the sun. For people that cannot hear and that cannot see, we have to use friendly languages whereby we use, this is when we are now using brailles or we are now using a sign language, so that before any disaster comes, they are fully aware and they fully know what is really happening, so that they can be aware in time and be helped to reduce the risks of climate change. For example, last week from the 24th to the 3rd of March, there was a cyclone that was being expected in Manicaland, especially Chipinge, where I come from. And this cyclone, it didn't really do much damage, but in case that cyclone would have hit hard on Chipinge, this was going to be a very big impact. This was going to affect largely to the people with disabilities, because we see that the information for this cyclone was not really reaching to everyone. For example, no sign language was used. The authorities, they could cascade the information on social media platforms and also on radio stations. But to those that could not hear, that means that information is jammed in them. To those that could not see, that means whenever there is use of TVs and newspapers, those information would jam them. People with disabilities, they also need to be taught on how to be responsible. For example, whenever we say we want to adapt for climate change, we want to plant trees, these people are the people that must be the first people to plant trees, because they mean a well-being into their health.